Good morning everybody, it's Jude Lennon here with Little Lamb Tales and Lammy, and we've got our special guest this morning, Cinderella. I'm sure you can guess why she's here. So all this week we have been doing traditional tales, so the story bag is full of traditional tales. I'm sure you can guess one of them. And before we do that, of course, we're going to do our welcome song. So if you haven't done this before, don't worry, it's so easy. You'll be able to pick it up straight away. You ready, Lammy? Let's go. Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? How are you today? If you're feeling okay, give me a wave. If you're feeling pretty good, give yourselves a pat on the back. If you're ready for stories, have a wriggle. That's it, wriggle all over. Brilliant. Right then, Lammy, shall we see what's in here first? Here we go. Ooh. We've got a red cape, a red stuffed cape. Wonder which traditional story that could be. Let's see. Here we go. It starts like this. Hi, Simon. Long, 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 all together now, long ago, far away from here in the middle of the woods there was a cottage, and in that cottage lived a mum and her little daughter. And the daughter had a beautiful red cloak that her mum had made for it. It had a beautiful hood, and whenever she wore it she felt great, and so they called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day Mummy said, Granny isn't very well at the other side of the woods. Maybe she was in isolation, who knows? And she said, will you take her some food so I know that she's getting something tasty and good for her? I've made her some sandwiches, I've made a cake, I've even made some soup, and now I'd like you to take it through the woods. OK, Mum, no problem, said Little Red Riding Hood. I'll do that straight away. She got on her cape, she would tie the bow, she put up the hood and she picked up her basket. Now, said Mum, whatever you do, do not talk to strangers and stay on the path. OK, Mum, I will. And Little Red Riding Hood set off. Shall we go? She walked and walked and walked and walked, and she stayed on the path through the woods. But then she looked to the side and she saw some beautiful flowers growing. Granny would like those. I think they would cheer her up. I'll just go and pick just a few to put in the basket. And so she left the path and she started to pick the beautiful flowers. But then she saw more. Oh, I'll just go a little bit further, and soon the path was out of sight. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in those woods there lived a big bad wolf. And he was out that day. He was walking through the woods like this, and he stopped and peered behind a tree. Ooh. He saw Little Red Riding Hood. I wonder where she's going with all that tasty food. And he jumped in front of her. Oh, goodness me, said Little Red Riding Hood. You did give me a shock. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you. Are you, lost? You don't appear to be on the path. Oh, no, I'm going to my granny's house. She's not been well, and I've got some sandwiches and a cake and some soup for her, and I was just picking these flowers. Let me show you back to the path, said the wolf. Where is it you're going? Which way do I need to show you? Oh, it's on the other side. It's the little white cottage with roses round the door. You can't miss it. Brilliant, said the wolf. You hop back on the path and be safe now. And then he disappeared. Little Red Riding Hood didn't think anything of it, and she set off on her path. She walked and walked and walked. While she was walking, the wolf ran on as quickly as he could. He ran through the woods, through the trees, this way, that way, until he arrived at the little white cottage with the roses all around the door. He knocked on the door. Hello? Who's there? Oh, it's just me, Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, have you got a frog in your throat, love? You don't sound quite like you. Oh, sorry, Granny, I'll come in now. And the wolf tiptoed into the house and in to Granny's bedroom. Granny was in bed with her nightie on and her cap and her glasses, and she had the blankets right up under her chin. When she opened her eyes, uh-oh, what a terrible surprise she got. There in front of her the wolf. And the wolf said, "Ha ha!" And he jumped up on the bed and he swallowed her in one gulp. And then he put on her hat and her glasses and her nightdress, and he got in the covers and he pulled them right up to his chin, and he waited for Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood carried on through the woods. She walked and walked and walked, and eventually she got to Granny's house, and she knocked on the door. "Hi, Granny, it's only me." "Oh, come in, dear," said the wolf, pretending to be Granny. So Little Red Riding Hood let herself into the house. She popped her basket in the kitchen and went through to see Granny. "Oh, Granny, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Granny, what big furry ears you have." "Oh, all the better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Granny, what big teeth you've got." "All the better to eat you with," said the wolf, and he jumped up out of the bed. Little Red Riding Hood screamed, "Ah, help!" and she ran as quickly as she could towards the door. Luckily for her, in the area there was a woodchopper. He was chopping down the trees with his axe, and he heard the scream, and he picked up his axe and he ran into the house, and he saw the wolf chasing Little Red Riding Hood around the kitchen table, and he picked up his axe and he hit the wolf, and they cut open his tummy, and out came Granny, still in one piece. "Oh, Granny, I'm so glad you are all right." "So am I," said Granny. "That wolf was not very nice, was he?" And they popped Granny back in her bed, and then they sat down and they had the sandwiches and the cake and the soup, and soon Granny felt much better. And after that, Granny decided that she would maybe go and live with Little Red Riding Hood and her mother instead. And they did, and guess what, everybody? They lived happily ever after. Yay! Give yourselves a clap. Hi everybody, hi Bren, hi Phil, hi Jen. Nice to tune in. Right then, let's see what else we've got in our story bag this morning. Here we go. This is probably one of the most popular stories I ever tell. It always gets chosen. If this gingerbread man is in the story tin, children always pick it. It's always very popular. I think it's popular because it's got so many actions that everybody can join in with. So are you ready? Right, there you go, Lammy, you look after the gingerbread man for me. Here we go. Long, 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 all together now, long ago, far away from here, when the whole area was covered in woods and trees, there was a cottage, and in that cottage there lived an old man and an old lady, and every day about now they would have a cup of tea and a biscuit. One day the old man said, "I am fed up with biscuits. I'm going to make gingerbread." So he washed his hands. Let's wash our hands. He pulled down the bowl. Have you got your bowl? He put in the ingredients. Let's put them into the bowl. And have you got your spoon? He mixed it and mixed it and mixed it and mixed it. And then he put his hands into the mixture. Are you ready? He squashed it and squeezed it and kneaded it and rolled it into a ball and popped it onto the kitchen table. And then he got his rolling pin. Have you got your rolling pin? He rolled it this way. He rolled it that way. He rolled it this way, he rolled it that way. And then he got a knife and he cut out of the mixture a gingerbread man with cherry pieces for buttons and currants for the eyes. And he popped it into the oven to cook. While it was cooking, the old lady rubbed her tummy and said, I can't wait to eat that gingerbread." Inside the oven, the gingerbread man thought, "Hang on a minute. I don't want to be eaten by an old man and an old lady. I'll have to escape." So when the old man opened the oven door, lifted out the tray, the gingerbread man jumped up, jumped down and ran out of the door. If you know the words, join in. "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." He ran and ran and ran. He ran past a sheep. "Let's hear you." "Meh," said the sheep. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" "Well," said the gingerbread man, "I wouldn't let an old man eat me or an old lady and I won't let you eat me either. And off he went. Run, run, as fast as you can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. He ran and ran and ran. This time he ran past a cow. Let's hear you, everybody. Moo! Where are you going in such a hurry? Said the cow. Well, said the gingerbread man, I would not let an old man eat me, or an old lady, or the sheep, and I won't let you eat me either. Are you ready? Run, run, as fast as you can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. He ran and ran and ran. Next he ran past a pig. Oink, 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 said the pig, where are you going in such a hurry? Well, said the gingerbread man, I wouldn't let an old man eat me, or an old lady, or the sheep, or the cow, and I won't let you eat me either. You ready? Run, run, as fast as you can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. He ran and ran and ran. Uh-oh. He came to a river. Let's see the river. It was flowing by, it was fast, and it looked quite cold. I can't swim, said the gingerbread man. If I go in there, I'll sink. Just then along came Mr. Fox. Where are you going in such a hurry? Said the fox. Well, said the gingerbread man, I wouldn't let an old man eat me, or an old lady, or the sheep, or the cow, or the pig, and I won't let you eat me either. Last time, run, run, as fast as you can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. But there was nowhere to run, only the river. I don't want to eat you, said the fox. I want to help you. Hop on my back and I will take you across the river. So the gingerbread man hopped onto the fox's back. You ready to swim? They swam and swam and swam. I'm still getting wet, said the gingerbread man. My foot's in the water. Hop on my neck, said the fox. You'll be fine. So the gingerbread man hopped onto the fox's neck. You ready to keep swimming? They swam and swam and swam. I'm still getting wet, said the gingerbread man. Said the fox. Tell you what, hop on my head. So the gingerbread man hopped onto the fox's head, and they swam and swam and swam. I'm still getting wet, said the gingerbread man. My feet are getting soggy. I know, hop on my nose, said the fox. So the gingerbread man hopped onto the fox's nose, and they swam and swam and swam and swam, and as soon as they got out of the water on the other side of the river, guess what? The fox flipped up his nose and he gobbled up the gingerbread man in one tasty, delicious, yummy mouthful. And the cow and the pig and the sheep and the old man and the old lady all arrived by the river, and there was no gingerbread man anywhere. And the old man and the old lady had to go back to their house in the woods and have a cup of tea with a boring old biscuit. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic. Now, I've just realised my camera slipped a bit when we were doing that, so I'm just going to see if I can move it a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. I don't know why it did that in the middle of it. There you go. That's live broadcasting for you, everybody. Right then, let's see what our last story. I wonder if you can guess what our last story might be. Shall we have a look? Here we go. That's right. It's Cinderella. And I'm going to use this dolly again. So this was the dolly that my mummy made for me when I was about 4 or 5, and it's called a two-headed dolly. So Cinderella, when she's in her nice clothes, is under there as well. So at the moment she's dressed in her rags, poor Cinderella. She's got a tear, she doesn't look at all happy. So here we go. The story of Cinderella. Long, 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 all together now, long ago, far away from here, in a kingdom far away, there lived a stepmother with her 2 daughters and her stepdaughter, Cinderella. The thing was, though, the stepmother wasn't very keen on Cinderella. Don't know why this was, because the stepmothers I know are all very, very lovely indeed and care very much for their stepchildren. But this stepmother, she wasn't like that. And so, do you know what she did? She did something really mean. She made poor Cinderella dress in rags and stay in the kitchen, and she had to do all the work. She had to do all the ironing, all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the sweeping. Poor Cinderella was very, very upset. And she was also really, really, really tired. One day there was a knock on the door. "Cinderella! Go and get the door!" Cinderella opened the door, and there on the doorstep was somebody from the palace with a special invitation. "I've got orders to give these out to all the ladies in the land. All the ladies in the land must come to the king's special party to find a wife for Prince Charming." And he gave the invitation to Cinderella. Cinderella looked at the beautiful invitation. She'd never seen anything like it, and she carried it through very carefully to her stepmother. The stepmother opened it. "Oh, marvellous news! One of you two is bound to catch the prince's eye, and you can be a princess, and it will be wonderful. Right, we need to plan outfits." Excuse me," said Cinderella. Could I come? The gentleman who dropped the letter off said that all the ladies in the town were supposed to go." Well, I suppose you could go," said the stepmother, "but what will you wear?" Cinderella looked down at her dress. She had a point. It was very raggy. She could hardly go and dance at the king's ball in this dress. "No, stepmother, I see. You're quite right. I'll stay here." And so for the next few weeks, poor Cinderella was run off her feet. "Cinderella, where's my dress? Cinderella, where's my shoes? Cinderella, do some sewing. Cinderella, I need a new hem." Poor Cinderella, she cut and she snipped and she sewed new dresses for her stepmother and her two stepsisters. The night of the ball arrived, and she made sure they all looked splendid. She waved them off and then went to sit in the kitchen. And she couldn't help it. She started to cry. "Oh, if only I could go to the ball and just have one dance. It would be so nice." Just then, in the corner of the room, right by the fire, a little light, a circle of light appeared that got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until suddenly the light sort of split and went all over the room, and there stood a fairy godmother. "Don't cry. Don't worry," said the fairy godmother. "I can help you, but you must do exactly as I say. Will you do that?" "Oh, yes," said Cinderella. "Great," she said. "Go into the garden and find the biggest pumpkin you can." So Cinderella went outside and she found the biggest pumpkin. It was really heavy, and she struggled to pick it up and bring it back, and she placed it by the fairy godmother's feet. "Right. Time for my magic." Now, I'm going to use the word abracadabra, but you can use your own word at home if you like. Here we go. Abracadabra! And the pumpkin turned into a beautiful carriage. Not bad," said the fairy godmother, "if I do say so myself. Now, go and find 6 white mice." So Cinderella went and she found 6 white mice, and she brought them back, and she placed them right next to the fairy godmother. Are you ready with your magic? Abracadabra! And the white mice turned into 6 beautiful horses. Oh, and they shook their manes and they looked perfect to pull the carriage. Not bad, said the fairy godmother. We still need a few more things. Would you go and get me 2 lizards? Lizards? Yes, please. So Cinderella went into the garden, she picked up the lizards and she brought them back to the fairy godmother. Are you ready with the magic? Abracadabra! And the lizards turned into footmen, ready to open the door of the carriage for Cinderella to get in. Now, we also need a rat. Oh, a rat? Really? Said Cinderella. I've got to go and find a rat. I'm not keen on rats. No, I know, but you said you'd follow all my instructions. Yes, fairy godmother. So Cinderella went into the garden and found a big rat. She picked it up by its tail and she brought it back. She placed it in front of the fairy godmother. Are you ready with your magic? Abracadabra! And the rat turned into a driver. Right, said the fairy godmother, my work is nearly done. I think we're nearly ready. Fairy godmother, Slight problem. I can't really go in this dress. It's a bit tatty. Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Right, she said, close your eyes. Are you ready for the magic? Abracadabra! And when Cinderella opened her eyes, there she stood in front of the fairy godmother in her most beautiful dress. Her hair was powdered, her dress was ready. She looked beautiful. Oh, fairy godmother, thank you. Oh, one more thing, said the fairy godmother. You must have some shoes. And she showed her a pair of glass slippers. Cinderella slipped them on and she got into the carriage. Now, one last thing, Cinderella, you must promise. You must set off for home at the strike of midnight. Otherwise, all the magic will go and you'll be left in your rags once more. Do you promise? I promise. Definitely, said Cinderella. She sat in the carriage and off they set. Let's go. The horses pulled the carriage over the fields and the hills until they arrived at the palace. And when Cinderella got there, she looked around the room. Oh, she'd never seen so many beautiful dresses and beautiful people. The prince saw her arrive and thought, oh, who's she? And he stepped forward and said, good evening, I am the prince. Would you like to dance? And Cinderella said, oh, yes, please. And so they danced and danced and danced and danced and danced and danced. And they went out to speak outside, and the prince said, I'm having a wonderful time. They didn't notice the time was going until ding, ding. Oh, my goodness me, is that midnight? Said Cinderella. Yes, yes, the night is young. We've got plenty of time. Oh, no, I must go, said Cinderella. And she tore herself away and she ran down the steps. But as she went, her glass slipper fell off her foot and she carried on. She jumped into the carriage as quickly as she could and the carriage set off for home. But halfway home, the magic ran out. And by the time Cinderella got home, she was back in her rags. The next day, the king said to the prince, so, son, did you find anybody? Well, I did, said the prince. She was beautiful. I don't even know her name, but she left the glass slipper. I'm going to go and find her. Whoever fits that slipper, I will marry. Excellent work, said the king. You better set off. So the prince got on his horse. You ready? Off he rode. He knocked on all the doors in the houses in the kingdom, and all the ladies tried on the glass slipper, and nobody fitted. Oh, goodness me, said the prince. Where is this lady? He kept riding and riding, and eventually he came to Cinderella's house. It was the last house in the kingdom. He knocked on the door. Cinderella! Get the door! Cinderella opened the door and she saw the prince, but of course he didn't recognise her. Oh, hello, he said. I've come to see if this glass slipper will fit any of the ladies in this house, and if they do, I'll marry them. Oh, come in, said Cinderella. The prince brought the glass slipper in, and the two stepsisters were fighting each other. Out of the way, I'm going to try it first. No, I'm going to try it. It's going to fit me. But as it happens, although they squeezed their feet as much as they could, the glass slipper just did not fit. Is there nobody else here I could ask to try the slipper on, said the prince. What about the serving girl who let me in? Cinderella, said the stepmother. Oh, goodness me, she's just the serving girl. Why do you want her to try it on? Well, I have said every lady, and I've been to every other house in the kingdom. It's got to be somebody. Very well, your majesty. Cinderella, come and try. And Cinderella sat down, and she tried on the glass slipper, and, of course, it fitted perfectly. The magic returned, and she stood once more in front of the king in her beautiful outfit. And the prince was delighted. Oh, what's your name? Cinderella? Cinderella. Will you marry me? Yes, please, said Cinderella. And guess what? They lived happily ever after. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much, everybody. Hi, Cass. Hi, Shaz and Dave. It's been great to have everybody here for this week of traditional tales. Now, next week it's bank holiday on Monday, so Lammy and I are taking a break. We're having a day off because we've told a lot of tales and we need to do some research to find some more. And then for the rest of the week next week, we're going to do stories about the space, the moon or the stars. Okay, so no stories on Monday, but back as usual on Wednesday and Friday. And over on Jude, Lennon Author page, I'll be doing some book readings on Tuesday and Thursday as usual. Thank you so much for watching this morning. I hope you have a lovely bank holiday weekend. We're going to do our goodbye song now. Are you ready, everybody? Goodbye, everyone. Nice to see you. Goodbye everyone, nice to see you. Goodbye everyone, nice to see you. Nice to see you today. Give yourselves a clap. Well done everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It's nice to see you.